McConnell, can he get it off? Yes! And the Sixers win it!
What a pass to Embiid! My goodness! Process that!
The lob for Covington, yes!
Allen for the win!
Yes! Andre Iguodala for the lead! Yes! Oh, yes!
What's up, everybody? It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Welcome to Points in the Paint, starring Chris Coyle. Follow him on Twitter at Ruzzer24. What's up, Chris?
How we doing?
We doing. How it do? This is the first episode of Points in the Paint. We're going to do the top 6 Sixers plays of the week. We're also going to give you the worst Sixers tweets of the week. Why are we doing this, Chris Coyle? Let me tell you, Sixers Twitter is an animal in itself. We are celebrating everything and anything about Sixers Twitter. As great as it is, as bad as it is, it's an animal in itself. Why are we doing this, Coyle?
We kind of want to show the good and the bad and the ugly of a lot of what goes on in the Sixers Twitterverse.
And we couldn't have picked a better week to start this thing because, one, Mr. Ben Simmons, we went from, future superstar to
greatest basketball player in the world.
Fan. He needs to be traded. He's a bust. He needs to go. That's what this is. This is just kind of a laugh at ourselves, laugh at everyone else. It's all in good fun. There's so much love here for everyone here, from you, from the painted lines to everyone on Sixers Twitter, everyone. So this is just a show that we hope will generate some kind of interaction among the fans and all that.
Number 6, Deep 3.
Embiid did, and the Sixers back in front court. Embiid wastes no time. The three is up and good. Watch out.
All right, so that was Joel Embiid hitting those deep threes. Joel Embiid is shooting 31% from three this season so far, which is the best he's shot over the last 2 seasons. He's been pretty good from three this year. If you had to make a list of what's going wrong, because it is apocalyptic on social media right now of everything wrong with the Sixers, they're 5-2. Come on, man. So although Joel Embiid is shooting pretty decent from three, what's your take on Embiid, man?
I think it's him having a couple days off from the fight. That three that you saw, he's from way downtown. He's almost Steph Curry downtown. And I think it's legs. He's having legs. Had a couple days off from not playing. That's allowed him to shoot this well, because it's been the last games that leading up to it. Before that, it was a little bit off. So.
Yeah, 4 attempts per game. Joel Embiid is definitely shooting those threes. Let's get into number 5.
Number 5, Neto layup.
Assists. Kyle O'Quinn in for him. And a steal by Ennis. Neto.
Wow.
Got it done.
How about Raul Neto layup in the fourth quarter? Man, he has filled in for Shake Milton beautifully over these last few games. He's been a positive in 2 of the 3 games he's been playing. He had 11 points and 4 assists in that game versus the Utah Jazz. He's 1 for 2 from 3. What more can you ask, man? Raul Neto has been a spark off the bench. What's your take on Raul Neto?
Like you said, Raul McConnell is what I've been calling him. You see him just attack the rim, attack. And then he's had a couple threes. I think he's shot 2 threes so far. So he does have some outside attention that he's grabbing. But I'm just loving him attacking the rim and just taking it to him.
I think he has a spot on this team, man. I don't know what that means when Shake Milton comes back when healthy. From what I read, he's practicing again. He's not going to play tonight versus the Denver Nuggets, but he should be back soon. He has looked great. Shake Milton has looked very good, especially with his shot. But Raul Neto, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, dude. I love his energy. Yeah. I love the hustle he brings. He
flying around the court.
I mean, when you talk about guys that can facilitate the offense, there's not many of those guys on this squad, and he can do it. Love Raul Neto. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. I'm impressed. Are you impressed?
Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah. I mean, he's been great. Let's move on to our number 4 Sixers play of the week. Here we go.
Number 4, buzzer beater.
Like a Corvette, just scoops right in.
Here comes Horford again to end the corner. He does it again. He hit a 3 from the corner to end the first, and now straight away.
The number 4 Sixers play of the week has to be the Al Horford buzzer beater at the end of the first half versus the Phoenix Suns. What a week for Al freaking Horford. 25 points versus the Portland Trailblazers. 32 points versus the Phoenix Suns. What else can you say? What's your overall take on Al Horford this week, man?
Keep shooting that 3. He's shooting. I think I saw it was like 5. He's averaging almost 5 threes a game, which is the most he's had ever in his career. He's playing out of his mind, and I hope it continues. Keep shooting that 3. Light it up.
Amazing. We're going to be getting into Al Horford also in a little bit, but he's been my personal MVP. If you want to look at some of our YouTube videos, I made a video of all the things that Al Horford makes the Sixers MVP so far this season. It's not his defensive rotations. It's not his rebounding, both of which are elite. His shooting has been great, but it's his passing ability. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But my gosh, man, he has just been so impressive so far. Let's go into the number 3 Sixers play of the week. Let's do it.
Number 3, one-handed alley-oop slam.
An attack with the three-point ability of Bogey and Joe Ingles, guys.
The number 3 play of the week has to be Matisse Thybulle's one-handed alley-oop from the baseline slam during the second quarter versus the Utah Jazz. It was a very quick play. It's been a tough week for my boy Matisse, but let's keep your eye on the big picture here. Matisse Thybulle is still tied for 4th in the league in steals per game. He is 8th in the league in total steals in the league. You know who's first, by the way? Ben freaking Simmons. He's got 21 steals, 3 steals per game, number 1 in the league. But, Sixers Twitter wants him gone. They're done with Ben Simmons, right?
Bye. No, it's I feel like this is what you're going to kind of see with him, is that you're going to see it's all going to be high energy things that are happening. I mean, the dunk is incredible. But that comes off of, different things that he's been doing. And I'm glad you're starting to see that, because his shooting's been a little bit off. He's in a low percentage with a lot of his shots and stuff like that. But that's a high percentage shot right there when that's going in. So I'll take that all day.
He started the year out really well, man. Those first few games by Matisse were great. He's been a little pressing too much for me the last few games. He's a rookie, man. I think these are things that you have to accept. These are the growing pains that rookies go through. Am I concerned? Absolutely not, man. Matisse is going to be fine. There was some talk that Matisse actually might get a lot of minutes tonight versus the Denver Nuggets. But Matisse is what he is. I mean, to dog him for lack of offense, maybe there's something to that, because you look across the team right now and, is the offense kind of missing the mark? Yes. Do they have catch and shoot players on the roster? I don't know, because I think that's one of the biggest things that they're lacking right now, especially when Tobias is not shooting and Jay Rich is not hitting his shots. Whatever. Defense wins at the end of the day, and this is the guy that you want to groom, all season long and get him ready for the playoffs. I think that's number 1. Any last comments about Thybulle?
Keep working, bro. Keep working.
Love it. Love it. All right, let's get into number 2, the number 2 Sixers play of the week.
Number 2, Horford putback.
Simmons goes all the way. Crushed home. by Al Horford, who's playing like he's 23 years of age.
All right. The number 2 play of the week has to be Al Horford's one-handed putback slam. Quill, talk to me about it.
Huge part of the game. It tied the game at 100. He brought the energy. If you see it, Mike Scott's like getting his big on. Just Al Horford has been, like you said, the MVP of this team, and it's just I hope it continues to go the rest of the season. I'm in love with him. I think it's the best pickup we had in this offseason.
Yeah, that 32 points, man, versus the Suns. That was one of the highlights of the early season. That fourth quarter, especially by Al Horford. I mean, he was from the elbow. He was hitting shots. He was getting others involved. He was all over the paint, finishing around the rim. That was really, really one of the highlights of this early season. But like I said earlier, Al Horford, man, dude, he's the rock, man.
I'm telling you, the Godfather looks like the God's son. Those legs are like
right.
He's jumping out of the roof.
Right. So like, he is one of the biggest reasons that Sixers fans need to forget about all this nonsense about Ben Simmons. What you're watching, especially in these fourth quarters, is chemistry being built, especially between Al Horford and Ben Simmons. Give it time, man. Just give it time. Don't rush into things. They're 5-2. But I think Al Horford is the number 1 reason, along with Ben Simmons, to be really excited about this team.
So excited.
Awesome. All right, let's get into the number 1 play of the week. Number 1.
And number 1, Furkan Fatality. Toasty!
5 more minutes. That's conventional thinking.
Simmons, Korkmaz for 3. Yes! Wow! Furkan Korkmaz still 0.4 of a second to go.
The number 1 play of the week has to be the Furkan Korkmaz game winner versus the Portland Trailblazers. Quill, what's going on with Furkan?
I don't know. I don't know. He can't dribble. He can't drive. But he's shooting the heck out of the ball right now. I think he's at 41% is what he's shooting at right now. Put him on the line, or not line. Put him, sit him in the corner, and just let him throw him up. I don't care. Just let him throw him up. He doesn't need to defend anyone. Just let him throw the ball up. That's all I'm asking.
Talk about a guy that you just see the confidence just developing game after game after game. Is he a long-term piece? I don't know. Not sure about that one yet. But you got to give him credit. Give credit where credit is due.
Yep.
Guy's hitting shots. He's spacing the floor on a team that can't seem to do it right now. And I gave a halftime grade review on the Blue Root TPL where I graded Furkan Korkmaz a D, and I got flamed by everyone for not giving him an F. You know, everyone's eating crow right now. Because
2 days later, A+.
because Furkan Korkmaz has been one of the best players off the bench. You know, defense be damned. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm just joking. You know, dude. But I think Furkan Korkmaz has done exactly what he's supposed to do. He's doing what JJ Redick, did for the Sixers last year. He's going to win you a few regular season games, but he's not going to do shit during the playoffs.
And I think that's what Brett Brown is trying to see. And he's like, do I actually have this? Like, I see what you're doing in practice. I see what you're doing, when you're not in the game. Let's see if we can get this into the game and make something happen with it. It was one of those things where you're like, they run the play and you see it and they throw it to him and you're like, no, yeah. That's how I felt when I'm watching that. So,
dude, you're 100% is like he's a guy that don't give it the frick and and it goes in and just it's just one of those weird things that he's playing out of his mind. Should we expect this? The rest of the season? I don't think so.
Can we hope for it though? Yes. I want him to continue. Like I want it to.
Really? No, I want Shake Milton to get those minutes, man. Shake deserves it. His defense especially was really impressive. He shot it effectively when he played. Very small sample size. Everything we're talking about here is a very small sample size.
Very small.
But give those minutes to Shake.
It's one of those things where I'm like, if it's working, I don't care if it's who it is. I just want it to be working. So if I'll probably be the biggest Furkan hater, but if he's hitting it, good. I don't care.
Let it fly, because I think overall from the eye test, Tobias Harris has pump faked more threes this year than I've seen in a long time. Shoot the three. And Furkan, we know, will shoot the three.
Let it fly.
Let it fly. Next up.
Good. No, we're good.
Next up, we're going to talk about the worst Sixers tweets of the week on social media. You ready? Ready, Coyle?
Well, I'm ready. Oh, I am ready.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Whose tweets? Your tweets. My tweet? No, your tweet. Worst tweets of the week.
Here are the top worst tweets on Sixers social media. Coyle, lead us off.
All right, so I'm going to start us off with someone you actually may know this person. I think you've met him a couple times. Yeah. So the tweet goes, and I'll give it to you after. It's one bad second half does not take away the fact that Ben Simmons is having a phenomenal season.
Come on, man.
That was from MRCROCKPOT TPL. May go as Mr. Crockpot, the TPL.
I don't know who that guy is. That's full of shit, man.
Honestly, I think I called this just a bad because of the week that he's had. But I honestly think you're kind of correct on this side as well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. So let's get into our next tweet. It is from Angelo Cataldi from November 7th. Take a look at Ben Simmons' injury last night in Utah. Doesn't look like a play you've seen 1,000 times. Didn't the Deshaun Jackson play on Sunday seem routine too? Are Philly players made of tissue paper, or are they all just snake bitten? I took offense to this tweet. Why? Because when you compare a soft player like Deshaun Jackson to Ben freaking Simmons, who besides a broken foot, he's missed, I think, 3 games in his entire career. Dude, Ben Simmons is the exact opposite of soft, man. Angelo Cataldi, get the fuck out. Bye. He is just such a joke on Twitter.
It's one of those things where you think he's just throwing things out there just to get his voice heard a little bit. Yeah. I agree. Shut up.
It just when you compare Deshaun Jackson and Ben Simmons, man, that can't happen. That can't happen. But let's be honest.
Deshaun misses 6 games a year.
Let's be honest. Angelo Cataldi was a Brandon Ingram guy from day one. He was anti-Ben Simmons from day one. So, the Ben Simmons haters have...
I'm still taking Ben Simmons over Brandon Ingram.
God.
I was a Brandon Ingram fan myself. I was at that time. I admit my faults. But I will right now choose Ben Simmons right now.
What makes me really nervous is that we're seeing this new form of hate in Philadelphia. It used to be Brett Brown. Yeah. I think that wave might have passed. We'll see about it a little bit. But now it's starting because Ben Simmons signed that max contract. It could be evolving into this kind of vocal minority of Ben Simmons haters being in the Philadelphia area. So I don't like it, man. Pineapples. It's not me.
Don't like it.
Let's get into the next tweet. It is Joe Giglio, also from WIP. He said on November 7th, I'd trade any player at any time to make the team better. Hopefully Ben Simmons gets healthy fast and shows improvement. If he doesn't, I'd look to see what he's worth on the trade market. Coyle, would you trade Ben Simmons right now?
No. That makes 0 sense whatsoever. 0 sense. He's a young kid learning. You saw also the off-season shooting. You see the ability that he has defensively. We talked about that earlier, leading the league. It just that is a mind-blowing tweet to me. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Typical Ben Simmons hater, where you point out the jump shooting. Does he need to shoot the jumper? Yes. But he does everything and anything in basketball. He does 90% other things in basketball, as a B+ or A level. And let's talk about the shooting. It's such a joke, man. It's such a fucking joke.
What I don't understand is, do you remember when you were 23 years old?
I
don't. But I'm telling you right now, at 23, I am so different at 23 than I am now. Even the 2 years from 23 to like 3 years to like 26, how much I changed and how much like everything. There's a different mentality that he's going to have probably coming into even next year with that. Even probably this year, you're probably going to see him start shooting the ball. Like, he's 23 years old.
The level of hatred is like
I don't understand
it. The level of hatred is borderline like Carson Wentz versus Nick Foles.
Yes.
Like, if you're not on the Ben Simmons train, get the fuck out, man. Like, don't root for the Sixers. Stop hating on the team. The team's future is so bright right now. They are a legit title contender, and don't bring this negativity. Don't bring this nonsense to the team right now. Get out. Get out. Let's talk about the next tweet. Let's talk about the next tweet. It comes from Steezy Delphia back on November 5th. No one can get Ben easy looks or even find him when he's wide open or has a mismatch. As Ben Dietrich notes, this is a problem originating from playing at an all-front court lineup with average passing and dribbling. Whoa, a lot to talk about there. So first things first, Al Horford has to be the best passing big man on the Sixers in years.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And you want to talk about another big man out there that you start seeing being able to pass out of the double team? He's kind of known pretty much everywhere is Joel Embiid. I've seen him throwing out of. This is mind blowing to me.
I literally made a video of how Horford is passing and how impressive his assist percentage is. You can't compare it. You have to go back to like Chris Webber for big men to compare that to. It's been I think that's been probably the best. I think that's probably been the best part of the Sixers offense this season is Al Horford's involvement in the offense. And you know what? We're going to see more and more of that because I think, just like we said on Party Umbrellas in months past, you're going to see that ball run through Al Horford, not Joel Embiid, in those fourth quarters within 5 minutes. I think that's here to stay, man.
And here's the other thing, too. It's like when the Sixers are good, the games that we've seen where you've been really impressed with them, one of the things that I've actually noticed was the amount of ball movement that has happened, where that ball is just getting thrown around the court for open shots. It doesn't necessarily need to be thrown to Ben Simmons. The offense isn't directed for him to get an open shot. It's the ball movement itself. So just everything about this, I'm kind of just like, whatever you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really, really good. Obviously, the Sixers are tops in the league in ball movement. So let's move on to our last tweet of the week. It is my boy Harrison. I'm sorry, man, from the Painted Line. We just kind of hung out during Blue Coats Media Day, but it is Furkan Korkmaz is slowly developing into a real NBA player. Hopefully, this is a new page in his career and not just a hot streak. I love you, Harrison. Let's call it what it is. Furkan Korkmaz is not going to be on this team in a few months. He is basically trying out for other NBA teams. I love Furkan. He's a fun player.
And honestly, that's why I'm earlier saying throw it up, shoot, lights out, go for it. Because in a couple months, that's what we're going to be trading for. We're going to be trading for a player to come in that's going to be able to do a lot more than just sit on the line and pop a three.
You pump up that trade value, baby, because
Get it up.
what Furkan is.
Get it up.
Furkan is going to be combined in some sort of trade package with a couple other players to get, a real shooter on this Sixers roster. That is 100% what's happening. Furkan is a fun story. He played a little bit in the G League. I run the Blue Route TPL, so of course I have a soft heart for Furkan Korkmaz. But let's be real, he ain't playing on this team come February, April. So, sorry, man. Love you, Harrison. You're out.
You're out.
All right. So make sure you follow Coil on Twitter at Rezer24. I am Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Make sure you hit like and subscribe below. We are at over 1,000 YouTube subscribers now, which is freaking crazy. For Coil, for myself, thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.
Here's McConnell. Can he get it off? Yes! And the Sixers win it! What a pass to Embiid! My goodness! Process that. The lob for Covington.